Alright, so as you can see, I've made a bit of a mess here of putting all the parts onto alligator clips and toothpicks. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss anything before I begin the prepping, and I'm going to prime them using Mr. Finisher Surfacer 1500 Gray. Now I'm actually considering going a little bit more deeper than this and may use this product because I haven't even discussed the fact that I wanted to do a pre-shading. So didn't want to take black paint for pre-shading, which is going to be very little, and I completely ran out of Alaclad to paint the black base version. So for the inner frame, because I'm going to paint it this color, I'm going to use this color for the inner frame, but for the blue, oh, and yeah, for the blue and the white and the red, I'm going to use Mr. Finisher Surfacer 1500 Black as a primer to cover it up and put it on. Obviously, then go into the next color to give it, and hopefully you can give it a pre-shading look at this scale. It's very small, very detailed scale, and I've done pre-shading before on the previous Barbatos. I just don't know if I can do it with this one. We'll try it out. There is one thing I want to touch on before we move any further. I like to give out two shout-outs here. One is to Ashton Twix, and the other one is for to Z3000. Ashton Twix told me, or messaged me. It's actually on my previous video. Go check out soma.gunpla on Instagram. And I went on Instagram, I looked it up, and he did something with these where I guess he glued them, sanded them down, then he cut them along the edges, and then applied it over the parts, maybe glued them on. Check this pictures out that I'm showing you right now. This is what he did, and it looks amazing how he did this. I was impressed with this. Another video, or actually it was a video that was sent to me by Z3000, is actually on the previous video, on how some guy, what he did was I guess he cut the pegs, as I mentioned before, from here, and then he cut the inside here, so you can slide the arm in, and then I guess attach that part to the elbow, which I can't find right now, and then using a little bit of pressure, opening it, stick it in there to hold it in, and that was one way of doing this. I haven't even mentioned about this one yet, where, you know, there's a part here that goes in that swivels, but I don't care about this. I'm just caring about the forearms. Both of those tricks are easy and cool. The problem is, though, I don't have the precision tool for me to actually cut this arm along the edges, because I may try it, but I may damage this, and you know, I don't want to damage it too much. There are these little saw-like blades, which you can actually find anywhere, you know, online, or you know, maybe Hobby in Japan, where it's from Tamiya, and they're photo etch saws where you can put it on an X-Acto knife, and then instead of a sharp blade, you have these teeth, so you can, you know, cut them along the edges. Hey, I'm good. I'm not that good. Eventually, I will like to try something like that, and I will order it. But for now, I'm gonna try it my way, which is of course probably the wrong way, but it's the only way I can think of on how to do this. So let's begin priming these parts and painting. Alright, so I allowed it to dry, the inner frame of the arm, as you can see here, and I also applied a top coat to protect this, because I know that I'm going to be using some masking tape here. Before we get started with this, I did go ahead with this one, because this is the same issue where this part here is connected through there, and it's not something you can stick in and out. Once it's in, it's in. And I did glue it and smooth it down a bit. I'll be this one, there's a gap here. You can't squeeze it anymore. Maybe you can, but I'm not gonna fuss with that. Maybe with the paint and the primer I'll cover that up, because then yes, I'll have to mask this after this is painted white. I have to mask this and this here so I can paint these little notches blue. Should be easy, not too much. But let's now talk about this one. Now again, the videos that I've seen and the photographs were very, very informative. Very, I can do that. Unfortunately, I don't think I have the confidence for me to take something like this and scrape off all this to the point where I can take it off and then glue it on together for that, and that. This is not a tool for this. Hobby knife, forget it. The saws that I've seen online, I actually purchased one, so I'll have it in my warehouse at HobbyLink. But for now, I got to do with what I got. I have to work with what I have. So we are going to mask this guy. So, oh, that's right. We need the other part. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Alright, so I covered this part here. And now we're going to put these on. I've already pre-sanded this down, so I don't have to do it again. Once this is on, it's on. Won't be able to take it off. Just going to push it in a little bit, just enough to show off this. Alright. Shake this well. I had another glue, which was this one right here. This is a regular Tamiya cement. It's a thicker base, but unfortunately it's already dry and I don't have any more. But this would have been perfect enough for this, but we're going to have to use a thinner one for now. So I'm going to zoom in, and hopefully this will work. Alright, we squeeze as best as we possibly can on both sides, and yeah, I see like that gap is opening up, but I'm going to hold it down for about another 10 seconds. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, it's a little too much there, but let me see. Now, I said I didn't have the tools. Eesh, there's a big gap for me to cut this. I do have the tools for sanding. So let me wait until this dries, Let's see what we can do to sand this down. I'll try to hold this. Actually, do I have one? Yeah, let me try this. There we go. Always have clamps ready at your disposal. Yeah, that looks good. Let's see if this helps out. Start the adhesive process quickly. Okay, so I'm masking off the parts that I've covered, and during the course of this I have run into problems, and I kind of foresaw that. I have to admit I should have done what other people has suggested, but I didn't have the tools. I really didn't. So let this serve as an example of what not to do and what could have been. So for you modelers out there, you gotta understand. Advanced modelers have done this, and I would have done it, but I don't have it. Well, let's begin with this. So as you saw, I coupled the thing together and I glued it, and then I started sanding it down. But of course, sanding it down wiped off the little marks here, the little detail, and also what rubbed off the what do you call it? The trim, the panel lining. Using my scriber and some knives and all that stuff, I scribed a little bit here and there, and then using some plot plate, I carefully applied the plot plate there, and then I sanded it down to a reasonable size, as you can see there, and as you can see there. Now I've already lost this down, as you can see there. No matter how much sanding I tried, it still will not disappear, and I was afraid to do more damage. So we're going to leave that alone for what it is, and this came out alright. The only problem is I goofed up there. Yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? This is not going to win any awards, but this is, again, perfect example of what not to do and gives you guys ideas. Those people who sent me the links and pictures of how to do this, I thank you again with all my heart. If I saw the video where somebody used a little saw, one of those little wafer thin saws from Tamiya, would have been perfect for me to cut this off, sand it down evenly, and then put it together, and then put it on this and this. I did not like the other video where the guy cut off the nubs here and there, and then you had to slide it in. Wasn't my thing, but I like this one better. That technique. You don't realize it that these are tools that you would need until you see a perfect example. So, as for this, I covered it up with the masking tape, so I'll paint the whole thing and then remove it. So let's begin priming.